Okay, so we're going to start working in Blender. If you're not sure where to find Blender, right on your desktop, you should see this icon. You click on that to open it up, and it should open up to something like this. We're just going to start off with General, so you can click that. And so right now, when you're in General, it's automatically going to open up to this cube with the camera and the light source, okay? We don't need the camera and the light source right now, and we're going to actually just go ahead and delete everything so you know how to like bring things in. So to do that, you should automatically have your select box on. You'll just click and drag over those objects to select them all. And to delete is very different than how we do in Adobe. You have to click X on your keyboard. This will bring up the delete option and you'll click delete. Okay, so now go ahead and click on this Y. So I'm not sure how your thing is set up right now, but if you click on the Y here, it should give you a nice cross here with the blue and the red. So anytime you see these lines, you'll know that red here means it's the X axis. The blue is the Z axis, and then the the green is the Y axis, which we can't see right now. You can see it when you start moving this around. Okay, and then again, if I click back, it's going to go back here. So to zoom in and out, you just scroll with your mouse. We'll go ahead and add an object. So go to Add, Mesh, Cube. They have all these different objects that you can add here, but we're just going to do the cube. So right now it's pretty small, and this is like the top view of the cube. So if you click on your middle mouse button, which is the little scroll of your mouse, if you click it and drag it, you can move around your view. Okay. So right now it's going through the X and Y. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start scaling this. So over here you have some different options. You really don't need to worry about messing with the cursor anytime soon, okay? So this is the move tool, and this is how you are able to move your object. And it's pretty cool because you can move it along the different axes, and that way you're not moving it, and then if you're trying to make it, you know, go in a straight line, you don't have to worry about it. You can just use these arrows, and it's going to move it in that direction only. Okay, let me go ahead and put it back where it was. Also, anytime you see like these little squares here, that's going to move it in that other direction. Okay, this is the rotate. Same thing here. It has the different axes that you can rotate, or you can rotate the whole entire object like that. Okay, and then this here is our scale, and that's what we're going to use right now. And we're going to scale this along the Z axis, which is the blue line. So we're just going to make this flat. So what we're doing is we're going to start making a chair. So this is going to be like the seat part of the chair. Okay, and let's say this is our base where these lines touch. Okay, so we're going to use our move tool, and we're going to move that up so that we have room for the legs. Okay, so now you can see here, this is kind of like our work modes. So right now we're in object mode. That's where you will always start adding your objects and things like that. And then when you want to do a lot more editing, then you'll go into edit mode. So you can come here and select edit mode. Okay, another thing that you can do is press tab on your keyboard, and that will put you into object mode, back into edit mode if you keep pressing tab. Okay, so if you like shortcuts, then if you remember that one, it's easy to go back and forth into object and edit mode. So again, make sure you're in edit mode. And you're going to right click, make sure that your cube is completely selected. If it's not, for some reason you just selected it, all you have to do is press A on your keyboard and it'll select the entire object. Okay, because if you just click on it, it might not select it all, you can see. Okay, so press A, we're going to right click and we're going to click on subdivide. And right now this has been divided into into 4 sections. Well, we're going to go ahead and here on number of cuts is we're going to add some more. We want to add 3 cuts, so it should look something like this. Okay, so now I'm going to change my view here. Again, you press down on your scroll, on the scroll button on your mouse to do that. And over here we have the different types of selections that we can make. So this first one here is vertex select. So if you hover over it, it'll tell you that, vertex select. And what that does is it allows you to only select the vertex of the object. Okay, and these come in handy in different ways. This here is edge select. So what that does is it selects any particular edge instead of just the vertex. And then we have face select, which is this one. So this one selects the actual faces of the object. So what we're going to do is click on the outside 4. So if you hold down the shift key, you can click on the 4 outside faces. Okay, so make sure you have that. And you still just want to be able to see underneath it. Again, this is the bottom of our shape and we're going to extend these legs down. So how you're going to do that is over here we have a bunch of useful tools. This is here is the extrude tool. So go ahead and click on that and then you're going to use, click on this plus sign and just drag it down to make some legs. Then if you're okay with that, the next thing that we're going to do is you just decide which side you're going to want the back of your chair. I'm going to do this side over here. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to create a loop cut. So here we have the loop cut tool, but we're not going to click on the loop cut tool because I don't like the way it works when you click on it. What we're going to do is use the shortcut, which you can see here is Control R. So go ahead and press Control R on your keyboard. And all you have to do here is make sure you have the line here in the back. Just click once, then you can drag it and you're going to make a line about right here, and this is the part of the chair that's going to be extruded upward to be the back of the chair because we don't want it to be this big. So just anywhere around there, and once you click again it'll set that in place. Okay, so now you can get your face select. You can select these faces. Another thing that you can do is you can click and drag over the faces and it'll select those faces that you dragged over. Sometimes it's good to check to make sure it didn't add any other faces. And then we're going to do the same thing we did to the legs. So we're going to get our extrude and extrude that up. Okay, if for some reason yours extruded a weird way, when you start extruding, you can press the Z and it'll only extrude on the Z axis because you can change it to do X and then it would extrude this way. Y would do some other weird way, but we want to do it on the Z. Okay, so go ahead and extrude that up however tall you want the back of your chair to be. Kind of look it over, see what you think. And we're just making a very basic chair today. The next thing that we want to do is we want to come over here to this little wrench, which is our modifier properties panel. Okay, we're going to click on add modifier here and we're going to select subdivision surface. So what subdivision surface does is you can see it kind of rounds everything out, makes it a little more smooth, and you can change here the levels viewpoint. to whatever you, whatever works for you, whatever you're trying to do. So I'm going to leave mine here at 3, and then I'm going to look at my chair again and see what I think. Because I can always come back and select these faces, and maybe I want to move this up and make this a little thicker. So I'm going to do that. So see how I'm moving this up and it's getting thicker. And then maybe I want to do the same thing here. I have that. All the front of my chair selected. Maybe I want to move this up and make that thicker. Okay, so just kind of get it the way you want it there. And I think I actually might want to extend this up. Okay, so I think I'm good now with my chair. When you're good with that, you'll go back into object mode or press tab. And we're going to add a color to this now. So what you want to do first is you want to go into, these are a different viewpoint options. So we have wireframe, which turns your object into a wireframe so it's easy to see if you needed that. This is solid mode. The next one here is material preview, and then the next one is render preview. So, and you'll see the difference later in there. So right now our chair is white. If we're not doing that, can't render yet. So make sure your chair is selected. You're going to go down here, and this is our material properties. You're going to click on new and new. If you want, you can name the material chair color or the color that you're going to use. And then you're going to come down here to this white. Click or double click, and then you can choose whatever color you want for your chair. Okay? So go ahead and pick a color for that. And then you want to just come down here, and there's so many different options that you can do to your color. So just kind of play with them and see if there's anything that you want to do. There's a metallic one that is kind of fun. You just can, basically you just click here and you can drag with your mouse to either increase them or lower them. So you can continue to do that. Some of them might not have a big change. Just kind of play with all of them and see. So you can always turn it down. Oop, don't do that. Okay, once you're done with that, you want to right click on your object and select shade smooth. You can actually, you should probably actually do that before you do the color, but it just kind of smooths everything out, makes it look a lot nicer. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add that camera back. So we're going to go to add camera, and it puts it right here. So this is what you want to do. You want to come right down here where those arrows pop up, right click and select vertical split. Then you have this line, so you're just going to split this somewhere in the middle, and now you have two viewpoints. So I'm just going to zoom in here, and I'm going to turn my camera mode, camera view on, and all you have to do is click on this camera, and right now this is what my camera sees. Okay, so on this viewpoint we're going to move the camera, and then we're able to see what the camera sees on this viewpoint. So I'm going to go ahead and bring mine back, bring it up, and I do kind of want it at an angle and not a frontal view, because I like to be able to see more legs of my chair. Another thing that, before we start getting too far into this, sorry, go up here to this little printer button, which is output properties. And we're going to change the resolution to 1000 by 1000. Okay, so now we have a nice square camera. Okay, so again, we're still just modifying this. Just get it how you want it. Okay, so once you have your camera set up, we're going to add the light. So first we want to go into this viewport shading mode that is our render preview. So right now you can see it's very dark because we don't have a light yet. So we're going to go to add light and we're going to select area light. Okay, so again, our light's way down here. Let's go ahead and bring that light up. Right now it's just a little light. Over here we want to come and change that. So we can change our power. Let's go ahead and do 1000 for the power. Now if you wanted just a solid light shining down, you could totally leave that there. If not, I would start moving it. A lot of times you're going to want to rotate this so that it's shining, you know, from a different angle, and that is basically what it's going to look like, is whatever's showing here. Once you are fine with that, then we're done with the chair. So before we save our file, we're going to add one more thing here. So we're going to go to add mesh plane, and that just put like a solid base here at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and scale this out. And then you can see now it kind of has a shadow there. If you want to change the color of your base, you could do that by giving it a new material. You would have to make sure you select it. And then you could pick a color for that. Okay, so once you have your base, just make sure that I can actually probably make this smaller. So I'm going to do my base about this large. Then I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to get my edge select, and I'm going to select this edge, and I'm going to hold shift and select this edge. These are my two back edges. I'm going to get my extrude tool, and I'm going to extrude those edges up. Okay, it doesn't really matter how high as long as you can see it in your camera. Okay, go back into object mode, and I think I'm fine with that, so I'm going to go ahead and render the image. So go to render, render image, and see what you got. Sorry, when you're done with that and you're happy with that, you're going to go to image and save as. Don't just save it because you're not going to know where it goes. Make sure you come over here and choose a folder that you want to save it in. Okay, give it a name. Don't leave it untitled. Then you're going to have all these untitled things everywhere. Okay, so I named mine chair. I saved image. Then if you open it up, should be able to see your image there. So that's what you're going to turn in. So this is what you're going to be turning in, your first 3D model of a simple chair.